used to roll backwoods, Rick the Dawn's good wherever he goes. 1 million and one flows, depositing dough. Said you down with the mafia family, let me know. Yeah, number one, I don't do number two. They watching how I do because I'm really hood. Red hoodie, gold jewelry, too groovy, might lose me. Don't approach with the foolery. Keep the two on me, homie. You don't know me. Rick the Dawn, the one and only. Yeah. Welcome to the Really Hood Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Rick the Dawn. Thank you for viewing. This episode is brought to you by reallyhood.com. Now, when you go to reallyhood.com, you can actually listen to the podcast episodes. It took me so long to figure out how to do that. All right, so if you don't know, I'm building my website. Well, actually, I'm working with some great guys and ladies on building my website, and I finally figured out how to put my podcast episodes on reallyhood.com. So now when you go there, you can just scroll down a little bit and you will see the latest podcast episodes from Really Hood. And then also, if you click Hoodcast when you go to the website, you'll also be able to click the newest episodes of the Really Hood Podcast. So that is what we call progress through trial and error. Today, we'll be talking about killer salt. And what you probably never even thought about or realized is that I've lost about 30 pounds over the last 2 months. All right, you probably didn't think about it, probably didn't, it didn't even cross your mind. And really, I've done that to get in shape because pretty soon, more like in 2 days, I'll be shooting videos for my album, Limits to Mercy. So that album is going to come out in January, but I'm doing all the groundwork now. So when you see that product, you'll hopefully remember this episode and say, oh, wow, he did that video a long time ago. I'm getting in shape right now to shoot for that video, or 2 videos. Actually, I'm doing 2 videos this week. Give me a little update, you know what I'm saying? I'm Rick the Dawn, I do music. I'm shooting 2 videos this week. And then I'm also doing a album release video as well. So it's a lot of stuff coming up, and I had to get in shape because I didn't want to be on camera looking pudgy. Okay, speaking of being or looking pudgy, I want to quickly go back to about 2 to 3 months ago before I started to lose weight. Okay, let's start there. So I'm going to do a quick flashback to one of my old YouTube videos, and I think I'm talking about how to get rich in 3 steps. Let's check out what I look like, and then I'll come right back.
Yo, so here is 3 steps to become rich right now. Now, you know what's funny about being rich? It doesn't really change anything except your comfort level. Like right now, I don't have to work, and that's a great feeling. But here are 3 steps to be rich right this second. And just do me a favor. When this works, not if it works, but when this works, look out for me. You know what I'm saying? Cash at me. Throw me a couple of dollars. I'm gonna put my Cash App in this link. So if you make a couple of dollars, send your boy something.
All right, you see that? You see how fat I was in the cheeks and all that? Yes, that is what I looked like before I started this new diet. You know, I'm having this episode to have a real and serious conversation about something that I discovered as I started to embark on this new journey to get in shape, right? The very first thing is, obviously, well, I can't say obviously because I'm not sure that everybody knows this. Salt and sugar are the biggest problems, especially within the Black and brown communities. A lot of Caucasian Americans already know this stuff. You know, they already know this stuff. We were not necessarily taught it. And I think it stems back to slavery times. If you go back and you read some of the literature, you'll find out that those people during that time, they usually ate the leftovers. You know, that's why pig is such a popular thing within the African American community, right? Because that was really the scraps. Like, hey, take this pig, the swine. And then they would take that swine and do all these creative things. So it's really a testament to our ancestors to take such a filthy, animal and turn it into all these delicious dishes. But the negative side to that was the pig is not necessarily healthy, right? And then all these other meals that we become very synonymous with are not necessarily healthy. Mac and cheese and gravy and all these different things. All of that food is completely packed with sodium. And that's the secret killer of, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I'm not a health expert as it relates to degrees and certifications, but It is my opinion that sodium and sugar are the main killers of our people. When you look at cancer rates and you look at, you know, heart disease, all these different things, I believe a lot of that stems from two things, sodium and sugar. And if you remove those two things from your diet, or at least try to trim them down, I think the results will be astonishing, right? You know, I'm not here to say that I've been following this diet for all my life. Actually, I just really got hip to it, and that's why I'm sharing it with my viewers and my listeners. But, you know, I really hate that I learned some of this stuff so late. I feel like I really needed to know this when I was 12, when I was 15. I needed my parents to know it, because I'm not even sure that my parents understood what I'm talking about right now. That's where most of our game comes from, our parents. You know, you really become the improved version of what your parents are or were. And in my case, I didn't really have some of these teachings. I didn't know about sodium, and, you know, and as far as I was growing up, it was like the more salt the better, the more sugar the better, right? Kool-Aid and all these different things. And, you know, we would just digest this stuff, and we drink soda pop all day long, right? I'm here to do this episode to kind of enlighten some folks who might be interested. You got to cut the sodium and you got to cut the sugar. Those are two killers. Not only killers over the long term, but in the short term, those are two things that's causing a lot of unhealthiness within our community, in my personal opinion, right? And especially if you think about women. The thing about women is their bodies are different. I think they're made of more water than a man is. So what happens is that sodium and that salt retains that water. You know, all the liquids, the water, the juice, your body is mostly water anyway. You're not able to flush that water due to that salt. That salt is what's retaining that water. When you put salt on ice or salt on snow, you'll notice that the snow from the asphalt will retract, because salt retracts. It holds water, right? I can firmly say that me taking away or limiting the salt in my diet has generated some success, and I would argue great success. I would say about 30 pounds of success. Okay, so let me explain what I did. What I did was I settled on some items that I knew that were healthy. Here it is: chicken, and I mean baked chicken. And the good thing about baked chicken is that it has no salt. It has nothing. When you buy a chicken from the grocery store, it comes just as a chicken. That's it. And then from there, that's usually where all the bad stuff happens. When you go to like a KFC and all that, they load it with sodium. They put all this different stuff on it, different grease, the flour. That's where it gets bad. But chicken in of itself is not a negative thing. So when you go to the grocery store, or when I go to the grocery store, I buy my chicken, I bring it home, and, you know, I spend some time washing my chicken off. I think chicken is, and this is the sad part, right? When you actually shop at the grocery store, you save a lot more money. I've saved a lot of money with this diet. So when you go to the grocery store, and let's say you go to the aisle where they have chicken legs, or drumsticks is what they call them. Here's the funny part. You can get 16 drumsticks where I'm from, 16 drumsticks for about $4. What? I mean, you might get 2 drumsticks for $4 at a KFC or a Popeyes. But when you go to the grocery store, you can get 16 drumsticks for about $4. And that's no exaggeration. You know, how much money are you saving? How many times are you feeding yourself off that $4? These are the simple equations that, you know, to me, separate the rich from the poor. You're saving so much more money, right? And you're saving money by eating healthier. So I get 16, or sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 12. Either way, I'm paying like no more than $5 for my chicken drumsticks. I take them home, I get little Ziploc bags, and I break down that 16 into 3 each. The next thing is salmon most of the time. Salmon, I might get some flounder fish. I might get some catfish. Fish is very expensive right now. I don't know if it's due to COVID or whatnot, but I'll get fish, take that fish home, I'll wash it off, and I'll put about 2 to 3 in each bag. Because what I'm doing is I'm creating serving sizes. A lot of people don't understand serving sizes. They just go to KFC and just eat. But there's a such thing called serving sizes. It's basically how much you should eat every time you sit down, right? I've allowed myself to have 3 pieces of fish or 3 pieces of chicken drumsticks per day. And then when it comes to seasoning, and this is the part where we start to talk about the sodium and the sugar, I don't put any salt on my chicken or my fish. And you might say, well, doesn't that taste nasty? You know, taste is subjective. For me, it's not that bad. It's not bad at all. And I'll tell you the secret ingredient. It's called Mrs. Dash. I got about 5 or 6 different types of Mrs. Dash, and I'll put that on my chicken. I'll put that on my fish. And what that does is allows me to get some flavor without the sodium. Then you might be saying, well, that's a terrible, that's like, what else do you eat? That's all you eat? Chicken or fish? Not both in the same day, one or the other. That's my main course, my main meat. As far as a side, I either do rice or I'll do mashed potatoes. There's some packets. They have these packets at the grocery store where you can get 1 serving size or 1 packet of mashed potatoes for like $1. you know, something like that. So I'll get those, and I'll get different flavors, right? And I'll usually make that with my chicken or my fish. You got your chicken, you got your mashed potatoes or your rice. Now here's the thing, let me slow down. With my mashed potatoes, I don't put any salt on my mashed potatoes, but I will use pepper. And the reason why is because mashed potatoes, especially the ones in that packet, already have sodium on them. You have to get into the routine of checking the back of food. And if you look on the back of food, you'll see nutritional facts. It's like probably regulation or law that these companies put that stuff on there. Then as it relates to rice, because I'll pick, sometimes I'll do rice, sometimes I'll do mashed potatoes. Rice is a superfood in my personal opinion. It's like eating air. Now when I eat my rice, I started off without any salt at all, and it was just like unbearable, right? So I had to start maybe getting, I use I think it's sea salt, and I would probably do like maybe 3 or 4, you know, little turns of the sea salt bottle, and that's all. But I couldn't do rice without salt at all. It was just like unbearable. I got my main meat, I have my main side dish, but here's the kicker. I usually allow myself to eat a third course, and that third course is always vegetables of some sort. And in my case, I usually do mixed vegetables because I like the way that corn tastes. Like I don't really necessarily like vegetables so much, so I'll use corn as a way to make the rest of the vegetables more tasty. So there you have it, folks. Meat, side dish, side dish. When you're on a diet as strict as that, you're going to wonder a lot. You're going to want to eat other things. You have to give yourself some things that, you know, are tangible, some things that you like. So here are some of the things that I also eat per day that I like. For example, I drink sodas, 0-calorie soda. I allow myself to drink smoothies every day. That's fruit. And then the juice that I use for my smoothies, they are typically 0 sugar or low sugar juices. Then I allow myself to eat chocolate every day. I got these 0 sugar Hershey bars. Like they're like these really small Hershey bars, 0 sugar. Can you believe that? 0 sugar chocolate. That's cheating, right? It's not fair. I allow myself to eat about 5 of those per day. Oh, applesauce. There's low sugar applesauce, or is it 0 sugar? Oh, it's unsweetened applesauce. That's what I allow myself to eat. Unsweetened applesauce. Between chicken or fish, mashed potatoes or rice, vegetables, 0 calorie, 0 sugar sodas. And then also I allow myself to drink smoothies with juice that is 0 sugar or low sugar. I allow myself to eat 5 pieces of chocolate, and then applesauce, unsweetened applesauce. That is pretty much the entire plan laid out, and that's without exercise. I was able to burn about 30 pounds without 0 to no exercise. And as of lately, I'm talking about as of this week, I finally started to incorporate exercise with my, you know, eating habits, right? But let's talk about what a day looks like for me. Probably around 8 o'clock a.m., I'll eat about 5 pieces of chocolate. And then around, let's say at 10 o'clock, I'll allow myself to eat 2 unsweetened applesauces. I do 2. I don't know why. I should probably drop it to 1, but I don't care. And then maybe around 12 o'clock, I'll eat a smoothie or drink a smoothie, right? With 0 or low sugar juice and fruit, right? I'll usually buy my own fruit, chop it up, put it in the freezer. Let's see. Okay, that's a couple things off my list. I'll wait till about 6 o'clock, and I'll probably pick chicken, mashed potatoes, and vegetables. And I'll drink that with I'll eat that with a soda. That's it. And then after that, I'm done. And if you notice, I allow myself to eat a lot. And that's the secret. Because a lot of people think a diet is all about not eating or eating less. No, it's about what you eat, right? The next day, your body, you're fine. And oh yeah, I eat fiber gummies too. I eat a lot of fiber gummies. I'm trying to give you everything that I do, so I'm not leaving stuff out. So if you try this diet, you know, hey, I didn't lose any weight. That's because I didn't tell you that I eat fiber gummies. I didn't tell you that part. I didn't tell you that everything that I cook, I put coconut oil on. So these are some of the small nuances, which brings me full circle. And most of the things that I just said, whether it be chicken, fish, there's no salt or sugar there. And I might use, like I said, I use Mrs. Dash. There is sodium, but not much in my mashed potatoes. There's no sodium in my rice. I have to put the salt there myself, which is great because I control the salt that I put on. As far as my 0 sugar Hershey chocolate, there's probably sodium in that, but it's not a lot. My applesauce is unsweetened, so there's no sugar there. Might be some sodium, but we're talking about small amounts. As far as my fruit, there's no sodium there. There might be some sugar there, obviously, but that's natural sugar. I'm not tripping off of that. And then the juice I use for those smoothies are usually low sugar, low sodium. And then last but not least, I believe, is the carbonated drinks that I drink, you know, 0 calories, 0 sugar type of stuff. So the point being, I've created a diet that drops the amount of sodium and sugar that I intake into my body. Here's some things here's the funny thing. As I was going over my diet and what I'm doing, I could probably take some things down, right? Because at some point my body will plateau and it won't really show the effects of my diet. So instead of 5 pieces of chocolate, I'll take that 5 and just eat 3, and then eventually just 1. one. I can take those 2 applesauces and knock it down to 1. Now, one thing I didn't really discuss is how much rice, how much vegetables. I do 1 cup of rice. I do 3 cups of vegetables. So get you a measuring cup, 3 pieces of chicken, 3 pieces of fish, 1 packet of mashed potatoes. When it comes to my smoothies, I don't really measure. I just do enough for 1 cup. I think that's about all I'm thinking. That's about it. Now, as I promised you, we're gonna take a little field trip. I'm gonna bring you along with me. I don't like nobody coming to my house, but you family, you here with me, you rocking with your man. Now, if you're listening to me on the podcast, you won't be able to see this, but again, you can always go to YouTube, type in Rick the Don, you'll find me, and kind of click my little YouTube channel. Check out this episode specifically to see what I'm talking about. And if you could, please subscribe. I don't have enough subscribers. Let's go to the kitchen and let's do it like this. All right, Rick the Don here. Check it out. So I'm going to show you my entire gamut of foods. All right, here is my 0 sugar Hershey's chocolate. Here's my unsweetened applesauce. Here is my, what is it called? 0 calorie soda. Let's take a look at those nutritional facts. Look at all those zeros. That's what you want. And then I have my juice that I might use for my smoothies. As you can see, only 1 gram of sugar. I got my brown rice, the secret ingredient right there. And then I have my mashed potatoes, 1 packet. Let's take a look. I am curious. 0 fat, 0 cholesterol, 470 milligrams of sodium. That's ridiculous. All right, but I'm gonna let it slide. Then I got my mixed vegetables, and of course I got my fish. And again, sometimes I'll do chicken. Most times I do chicken. I don't have any chicken right now because I ate it all. All right, so let's look at what a day might be. So I would probably I would eat 5 pieces of chocolate. I would eat 2 of these. I would drink 1 soda. I would make a smoothie. Here are some apples or pears that I chopped up the other day and froze them. I would choose between rice or mashed potatoes, 3 cups of vegetables, and about 3 pieces of fish. I got 2 pieces here, 2 different types of fish. This is salmon, and I believe this is flounder fish. And that's pretty much what I would eat on a daily basis. Today, I'm going to create one of my favorite dishes and allow you to see what that process is. All right, here we go. So I got my salmon. It's nice and seasoned. As you can see, look how good that looks. That's even before I put it in the oven. And that is all courtesy to some nice seasoning here. I got some pepper. I got some Mrs. Dash, salt-free, as you can see. And of course, I pretty much lathered everything down with some avocado oil. And on the flip side, I got my rice. It's rocking and rolling. I got my vegetables. I just turned that on. The oven is preheating. I'll get it to about 425. My salmon is ready to go. And once the oven is done, I'll put my salmon into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, there she goes. Ooh, look at that heat. There she is. Oh yeah, that's 3 cups of vegetables, 3 pieces of salmon, and we ready to eat. And here's my secret ingredient, coconut oil, okay? I threw that right on top, along with about 3 spans of sea salt and a couple pats of pepper. You see that? It just dissolves into the food, okay? Go do a Google search about coconut oil, and you'll see why I call it a super secret ingredient. The last 2 things that I'll show you are my fiber gummies. I eat these every single day. Amazing, amazing. I won't go into details, but just take my words for it. And then I got this right here, some little vitamins. I don't like taking pills so much, so I just do gummies, and plus they taste good. And since my diet is so restrictive and I don't have any sugar in my diet really, that allows me to have a little sugary snack every day. That's healthy for me. So a lot of strategy goes into what I'm doing. And I think, like I said, the results are very evident if you compare it to what I was looking like before. All right, so what I did was, and I didn't plan on showing this, that's why it's coming after the fact, but what I did was I took the rice, the salmon, and the vegetables, and I put them all in one, and I just mixed it all together. And what happens is the natural salty taste from the salmon kind of helps with the rice since there's not much salt there. And also, when I do this, it allows me to break it down into like breakfast, lunch, dinner. You know, I can break this down into 3 to 4 different meals. I can eat this at 3 to 4 different times. Some people might even find it best to just eat it over 2 or 3 different days. So, but for me, because this is really the most that I'll be eating for the day, I'll probably break this down into 3 different meals today. All right, not sure why I'm showing you all this. I said I was done, but it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm eating up the last bit of my leftovers. Like I said, I did last me throughout the entire day, and it was it is so delicious. So it's like, this is like stir fry now, you know, when I put it on the skillet and just fry it and turn it over and stuff like that. It's kind of like stir fry now, but amazing, super tasty. Just want to share that. All right, folks, that was the kitchen. That was all the stuff I told you about. That's how it works. That's what I do every single day. That's what I've been doing for about the last 3 months. But with that all being said, it's been a pleasure. I'll holler at you.